Hi everyone, welcome to Apata podcast. Speak about entrepreneurship, business, Africa, development, leadership, and how young people can learn from industry leaders or some of the seasoned entrepreneur. And I do have a seasoned entrepreneur with me today. It's my brother from another mother. I call him a bomb because that's how we do as a Nigerian, to respect people that are older than us. His name is Wale Osborne. Thank you very much for joining me on this podcast today, Wale Osborne. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Good to be here. Good to see you again.
All right.
You are the serial entrepreneur.
Yeah. No, for me, talk about serial entrepreneur. You have to find different streams of incomes, and you have to be able to take advantage of the market. And
Yep.
I have a technology background, and I see where things are going. I see the digital age, and whatever you do, you must make sure you integrate a digital technology in it. I think it's the current CEO of Microsoft, Satya something. Forgive me for forgetting his surname. He said every business. He said this many years ago. He said every business is going to be a technology business.
Yeah.
And with the advent of coronavirus pandemic, we can see that happening. That most businesses that are keeping afloat are integrating digital technology, and that is how it's going to be. But that's not where our conversation is going to be focused on today. You shared your story earlier, and for those that would not be able to go to the YouTube video to go and watch my entrepreneurship journey, I would just like you to, in a very short and brief format, take us through your journey and some of the critical things that contributed to you being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, thank you, Sam, for having me. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Yeah. Like I said earlier, my entrepreneurial journey has been a very interesting one. My father has been a big role model in my life, and it's gone to glory now. So, but I learned a lot from him, and that has helped to shape my entrepreneurial journey. Even though he was a technocrat and more like a politician and a farmer as well. Yeah. So I learned a lot from him, coming from a large family, being the 12th in the family. Yeah, and the 12th child, and since then, my mom passed away when I was 12 years old, and that became a good turnaround. I call it a blessing in disguise, because it helped me to really think about my life, and as I was the only one in my age group who stayed alone by myself. Whenever I come back from went to boarding school, whenever I come back home, so that gives me time to spend time with myself, and it gets me to develop the thinking habit, and which is good. Yeah. And I went to high school. High school finished. I had to go write the school living certificate exam again, and I studied financial management, and that's my first degree in national diploma. And from there I got into to work with the government, and that's the military government as a civilian. And from there I learned a lot and started my business, and from there it's been good with a lot of challenges. Learned a lot, made money, lost money, and learned from you. Those are best experience anybody can have. And so I couldn't understand when I used to hear it's better for you to lose money than to make money. So I used to ask people, what are you talking about? Nobody want to lose money. But those experiences, you can buy them. You can quantify them. Those are the things that develop your value system in business, and belief system and principles about life, about business, in everything you do. You understand? Because these are personal experiences. These are your experiences, and they grow you. They make you thick, they make you stronger, they help you to see better in life and how you can manage challenges in life, because they will definitely come.
Interesting.
That's one thing. Yeah. So it's been roller coaster and it's been very good. Made money, lost money, slept on the street, went back from good what we call SUV. Jeep, went back to Kombi, like they say in Nigeria, Danfo, or South Africa, Kombi, and got back on my feet, and used to be called the black suit guy. You understand? When I lost the money and this thing, I came back, and I'm grateful today. I'm back on my feet, and I keep going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So lose money and make money. The lose money part, they call it school fees. So you have to pay your own school fees.
Yeah,
also.
Exactly. You have to pay your own school fees. I mean, nobody's going to pay it for you.
No, that's interesting. One of the challenges you went through in your business is, some people that you trust with your investments, they mess up with it. And you were in the FMCG business, and at a point, 2011 to be specific, I haven't been in South Africa. You mentioned that you had to sleep on the street, as it were. You had to park for 2 weeks. You would park your car at the garage, which you call petrol station. And you have to sleep there.
Yes.
And it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse that your fuel was at the reserve, and you have to make a choice.
Absolutely.
If you switch on the car so that you can to warm the car so that you can get warmed. Or you leave the petrol so that you are able to go ahead for the following day activities and all of that, go and look for opportunities and the rest. Take us through that specific journey, what led to it, the experience itself, and how you got out of it and bounced back again.
Yeah, it was a very loving experience, I must say. Those are one of my best life experience.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Someone would say that was the worst. I mean, I use the word worst.
Those are my best times in life. I'm not going to lie. And because they have developed me, they have grown me, they've made me to be more thick, to develop a thick skin and know how to manage and adapt to situations in life. Before I explain it again, one of my mentors will always say, I won't be surprised if everything I have today, if I lose it, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be moved because I know I got here.
The process.
And like I always say,
we're going to go through the growth process. We're going to go through that.
So I know I got here, and I know what led to this current situation now. So I know what to do. It's not a game. It's not. I did not play game to be where I am today. I went through the process, so I understand it. It's me. It's my journey. So I know how to get out of it. I know the mistakes I made.
Yes.
I know the wrong decisions I made.
Yes.
So it's like that in life. So what happened in 2011, it started in 2008. I was doing very good when I got back to South Africa, doing cash crops business, exporting to West Africa. And so it was very good, and whatever happens. And 2005, things, as my business scaled again, I spoke to my uncle who started the FMCG business, which he has been doing in United Kingdom and America since 1970s. You understand? And he's one of my role models. I mean, I always look at him from afar, and I was like, if this man can do it,
yes,
I can do it too. And I always remember my father. We always talk about him because whenever they come to see my dad there, I'm sometimes around, and I will ask my dad, who's this? And he would tell me, no, this is the son of my sister. We're very close. The mother was close to me. She was there for me. I was there for her. And he's doing okay today. He's doing that. I say, oh, wow, I can do that business too. I can do those kind of businesses. I want to be an entrepreneur. So like he's been my mentor through that process. So I started the FMCG business, Nigerian processed food, selling it in South Africa. People know me then. They will call me, the name of the business was Olu Food. So people will call me Olu. Then, you understand? Yeah. So, but the business. I made money, then I divested the business, the profit into stock market, into the different other businesses, into car business. One of my friends introduced me to a car business. I invested accident car then in South Africa. So I invested 300,000 rand as a then. And we're talking about 2005 year. I invested 300,000, 2005, 2006. I invested 300,000, which is today in a value of 1.52 million, if not more than today. So, but I didn't know, my friends didn't have enough knowledge, and that was a learning curve for me as well, a big lesson for me. But I'm grateful that I learned it quick then. So he has no knowledge, he's not knowledgeable about the industry. So we bought a lot of wrong cars. We couldn't get buyers, and it wasn't a very serious businessman himself. So most of the cars we couldn't sell it. Some of the cars I had to give it away, and that's one of the things most of my siblings and family and friends they fight me about a lot. They say it's a weakness in me. I'm very generous to a fault, but to me it's not. When I see people in need, if I can afford and I have resources to assist, I do without thinking. Regardless of who you are, you don't have to be a friend or family. You don't have to be white, black, Indian, whatever, Asia. I just come in and say. So I gave some of the cars out, and to those who I could tell that they were in need, and I moved them from there. So in 2008, I lost a lot of the investment as well in the stock market and other investment.
And you said that the global economic crash also contributed to that. So
the global economic crash contributed to it, which was the big excuse everybody was giving in the business world. So there's nothing anybody can say. They say, no, we invested the money and this thing. Most of the money there was invested into multi-level marketing, then. So it was gone down the drain, but it was a learning curve for me. So I had to pick myself up. So it was a roller coaster, make a little bit today just to sustain myself. But so sometimes I will get locked out of my house. I will be able to come back again, start all over, continue. But it got very worse in 2011 that I couldn't afford to pay the rent for my house, and I live alone. I've been used to living alone. I've been living alone, practically living alone since I was 12. So people surprised how I don't get bored. I'm used to it. It's a lifestyle. You understand? I can't change it. So but I couldn't go back home, and I was locked out, and I was able to get my feet. So I had a car then. So under Ballad, I remember, and so I was driving, sleeping in the garage in Bayers Nodio of Ram. There are two garages next to each other. This was in 2011. 2011. So I will sleep there in one today. If I sleep on the one on the right today, I'll go to the one on the left today, so that they can't really tell I'm there every day. You understand? I have to be strategic like that. So, but when I drive around, I remember those 2 weeks, my fuel will be in reserve. Because I will only be able to afford 100 rand or 50 rand fuel. So by the time I drive around to look for business prospects, from a this thing, the fuel will have been depleted and been in reserve. So, and it was during winter, and I will have to decide. I do have two options here. Do I want to switch on the car to get the car warm a bit, or do I want to leave the fuel to preserve the fuel so that I can be able to drive around the following day should I'm not able to raise fuel money? So sometimes I will switch it on, sometimes I will switch it off, and it was fun. It was fun. I'm not gonna say it was tough. And it was very painful, but it was fun. After looking back now, it was one of my best days, I would say, because those are learning curve for me. So so one of my older friends, I have a lot of friends. Most of them are my real friends. They are far older than me. The youngest will be about 7, 8, 10 years older than me. So I learned a lot from there. So one of them told me, like, you know what? You are very good in business. You have a training company. Why don't you go and register with the government departments? They can give you contracts and this thing. Then you can pick up from there. I said, oh, really? So I started that. And I was very lucky. It was a magic because, people that have been there could not be able to get the kind of deals I was able to assess. To assess within a couple of weeks. Within 2 weeks, I was able to assess my first deal, which was about 150,000 rand thereabout. Then for training for South African Police Services, forensic department, and that was fun. I mean, I was so happy. So I started from there, and from there, more deals started coming in, supplies, training, and these things. And I went into the private sector too. So my biggest breakthrough came from comeback came from the private sector. There's a private sector that gave me a deal in 7 figures, close to 2-digit 7 figure. I was like, wow. But and that was a comeback for me, and ever since then I've been able to get back on my feet. I'm grateful, but there has been challenges. I've lost money in between as well, do wrong investment, wrong investment decisions. But I will always have a backup to fall back on, because since 2011,
yes,
I always make sure there's a plan B, a backup plan B. If I'm going to invest 100,000 rand,
yes,
it's always in my mind. You don't have 100,000 rand. You can't do 100,000 rand investment if you don't have minimum of 200,000 rand. So, and that has always been my strategy, investment strategy. So, and it has worked for me. And from there,
so at least if you lose the 100K,
I'm able to have something to fall back on and
that's true.
Yeah. So it's been good. It's been good.
Interesting. You know, one of the things that came up in that in how you narrate the story is, and you mentioned it also during your my entrepreneurship journey. Again, dear listeners, if you have not watched, go and watch that video. It's on YouTube, and you're gonna learn a lot. Subscribe to the channel, Sam Apata. You said growth is a process.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Thank you. Growth is a process. And these days, I see a lot of people, it doesn't matter, like they say, maturity has nothing to do with age.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of, I was listening to one of my mentors this morning, and he said, when I was listening to him, watching, and he said, maturity has nothing to do with age. See, there are a lot of boys there are a lot of men that are boys, and there are a lot of women that are girls. So I said, what does it mean? He said, no. Because you are old in age physically does not mean you are mature enough. Psychologically, emotionally, physiologically, mentally, financially, you understand. I said, oh wow. That's what I'm. So growth is a process. You understand? You can't give back to a child today,
yes,
and expect the child to be running in an Olympic game. Everybody will run away. So you understand? In anything you do in business, you have to start small. You start small to grow big. You don't start big to grow big. You start small to grow big. So you lay the foundation. You understand the industry where you are. Then when you understand it, you learn the ropes. We call it learning the ropes.
Yes.
You learn the rope. Then from there, you identify opportunities as you are growing up. Then you can scale. That's how you do. That's how you grow in life. So that is what we call growth process. You don't start today, and business has nothing to do with capital. I see a lot of entrepreneurs. They want to start business today, and they say, "Well, I need funding. My challenge is capital. If I get capital today, I'm a startup." And I say, "No, you don't need funding. You don't need startup."
What do they need?
They need knowledge,
okay,
and they need skills. They need knowledge. They need skills, and they need to learn the ropes.
I see.
Because everything, especially in this day and age,
yes,
we live in the 21st century. Because what happened on Monday, it's not what is going to happen in the marketplace.
Or relevant.
It might not be applicable or relevant in the marketplace, in the same marketplace on Friday.
That's true.
So you need to learn it. You need to be able to do, and that's why that's why most successful businesses they have a research and development division. That's what it is for. So you need to keep doing research, meaning you need to keep learning,
irrespective of the
size of the business. You understand? And that's why it's easy for any business to start today. In the next 10 years, it's easy for him to acquire a business that has been in existence for 100 years. You understand? We have seen it happen many times. You see. So growth is a process. You need to learn the rope. You need to grow with the business. You need to grow with life, because it's time and season.
Thank you very much, Wale.
Yeah.
Do you think, because as you were saying that, one thing that keeps coming to mind is quick gratification.
Yeah.
Do you think the social media world, quote and unquote, that we are now, and the era of, you press the button and things just, opens up and all of that. Some people call it microwave success. So do you think the social media world, contribute to that sense of quick gratification, most especially among youth?
Absolutely. We say to an extent, and to a large extent. I will have to agree to that. There's nothing wrong in having a microwave success if it does come, if it happens, and you have the good support system around you, and you have the good mechanism around you. There's nothing wrong in that if you know how to manage it well. The challenge is most don't know how to manage it because
they call it come easy, goes come easy, goes easy.
Goes easy. Yeah. It comes easy. It goes the way it comes. You understand? Because you don't have the skill.
The foundation.
The foundation is not there. You understand? The foundation. If your foundation is not strong, there's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah.
You understand? So you need the foundation. You need the risk is you need the support system. You understand? You need the capacity. That's what I say. There's something that said the degree of and the foundation, the skill that a lot of people don't have, regardless of their age.
Yes.
Is what we call the sense of responsibility and the sense of accountability. Because when you see somebody today say, if you have $1 million today, what are you going to do? You will be shocked what people are going to be saying. A father, a mother, a old person, you call like a graduate. Are you really serious? With $1 million? You're thinking of buying a house? You're thinking of buying a car? That is not going to generate revenue. You don't think like that. And that's why a lot of people struggle, because the degree of your responsibility and capacity determine your access to resources.
Wow.
Let me say it again. The degree of your responsibility and your capacity determine your access to resources. You have to be accountable. A lot of people don't have a sense of responsibility, and that's why they run into the ditch.
Wow. Talk about building capacity.
Yeah.
Talk about not needing funding but needing knowledge and research and all of that.
Yeah.
You have a background in financial management.
Yeah.
How has that contributed to your business success today?
Yeah, it has really contributed to my...
Second to that question, we can anchor it also on financial intelligence or financial literacy.
Yes.
Because, you just made a good example, giving someone $1 million and, you wouldn't understand, you wouldn't believe what they would say they will do with the money. So, your financial management background, how has that contributed to your
my financial management background has contributed a lot to my success in business to an extent, I'm not going to lie. But the most important one has been what we call personal development.
Okay.
That has been my strongest asset. I'm not going to lie. I invest a lot in myself, and when I said I invest a lot in myself, I love knowledge. I love acquiring knowledge, and that's when people engage me in conversation, they get surprised when they put business proposition in front of me, and I said it's a good business proposition. I know it's going to fly, but I'm not interested. They go like, why? It's because I've invested in myself. I know what is going to sell, what is not going to sell, what is going to be good for me, and what's not going to be good for me.
Are you the oracle of Africa?
I'm not the oracle of Africa.
As they refer to Warren Buffett as the oracle of investment.
Yes, I wish I am that way. He's a mentor. I've been following him, and I've been following him into the letter. You understand?
Please carry on.
Yeah. So so my personal development has been my greatest asset. So you understand, my financial management as a background helped me, but my financial intelligence is what positioned me to know how to manage financial resources, which is the most important thing. So, we've seen a lot of professors of economics, I mean, in the university, they can't even lecturing. Even an accountant, a chartered accountant, they can't even account. They can't even account for their own financial life. You understand? They don't know how to manage money. You need proper capacity.
Yes.
You need proper. There's a difference between financial intelligence.
Yes.
And budgeting. You can budget to spend money on the wrong things. But if you don't have financial intelligence,
yeah, you can say that again.
You can budget to spend money on the wrong thing. But when you have proper financial intelligence,
yes,
it teaches you how to turn money around, which is what they call in the marketplace compound interest. How to take your R1 or $1 to become $2, for your $2 to become $4, for your $4 to become $8. So you need to be able to identify in the marketplace. And how do you do that? You identify the gaps. And how do you identify the gaps in the marketplace?
Yes.
You look for what do we call it? You look for challenges in the marketplace.
Oh, true.
You don't look for what we call opportunities in the business world, in the marketplace. It's what we call challenges.
Yes.
You look for what are the gaps there? What are the challenges? How can I do? I have what it takes? Do I have the capacity, the skill to bring the solution to the challenges? And that becomes opportunity. If you don't have it, do I have the financial resources,
yes,
to invest and engage the subject matter expert,
yes,
to bring them on board,
yes,
on my company, for them to do it on behalf of the company, and we keep going. Are they going to become associate or business partner or consultant or freelance? And that's how you grow in business. So we call it growth process. You understand? And, and you need financial. So a lot of people don't have a sense of responsibility. They don't have a sense of accountability, and they don't have the capacity. Capacity is the most important, and you have to invest in yourself.
Yes.
And one of my mentor, it's gone to bless memory now, Jim Rohn, he will always say the biggest and the best thing anybody can do is to invest in yourself.
That's true.
Not on your job. A lot of people invest on their job. You invest in yourself. On yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's how you grow yourself.
And that applies to
it applies to everybody.
And that specifically applies to entrepreneurs also.
Absolutely.
Tell me, what are the best resources that have helped you along your entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, best resources that helped me, it's personal development. I'm not gonna lie, like I just explained.
So you are big. You are big on personal development.
I'm big on personal development, investing in yourself, personal development, personal mastery. You can't beat it. Nobody can beat it. I don't speak like this before. I'm not like this. You understand? So I have to develop myself. I have to study. I have to read. I have to read different types of topics. I need to understand. I know one day I'm gonna go into to go see my doctor. So I need to read a lot about in the medical field, medical journals. You understand? I need to understand it. What does it take to be in the legal space, legal industry? You understand? I read a lot about it. I mean, legal journals. You need to understand. You need to invest in yourself so that you can be able to engage with people, have a good, meaningful, beneficial conversation with different people. I read a lot about political science. I read a lot about sociology, which is philosophy of life. You understand? You need to know who you are, and that there are some 5 questions that you need to be able to always ask yourself. We call it human 5 questions. Who am I? It tells you about your identity. Who am I? Where am I from? It talks about your heritage, not your tribe, your skin color, your heritage. And why am I here? That talks about your purpose. Why am I on that? What purpose am I created for? What solutions am I here for? What contribution have I been predestined to bring into this world? You understand? And the next one is, what can I do? Meaning, what are my potentials? What contribution can I make? What difference can I make in life? And the last one is, where am I going? Your destination, which talks about your destiny that is in align with your purpose.
Like I say, if you don't know where you are going, you'll get there. Nowhere.
You get nowhere. You understand? If you don't know where you're going, you get nowhere. You understand? And one of my mentors, we always say, if you don't plan for your money, people will plan for your money. If you do not plan for your own money, people will plan for your money, and you will end up giving it to them.
Wow.
So you need to have a financial strategy. How do I spend money? If I make an income of $100, 50% is for expenses, 10% charity tithe, whichever religion.
Yes.
That's how you do it. 20%, 10% goes for, 10% goes for my personal expenses. 20% goes for my what? Goes for my savings. So, and that's how you do it in life. So when the 10% that is there for you to invest to assist people,
Yes.
when the 10% is finished, I have not created to solve everybody's problem.
Absolutely.
I am not the Jehovah. I am Wale Osborne. So when that 10% finishes, when it's done, it's done. It doesn't matter
Who
the
you
degree and the level of your problem. The best we can do is to sit, hold each other's hand, and pray for solutions. And that's how you live life. That's what they call, that's what they call discipline. We call it self-discipline. And discipline is another, thank you for that. Discipline is the second resources that has helped me. And that's one of my assets. I'm very disciplined. I'm not perfect in discipline, but I'm very disciplined, you understand?
Please expatiate on that and
Discipline-
how you apply that.
Discipline is doing what you are supposed to do, when you are supposed to do it, either it is convenient or not.
Wow.
It's as simple as that.
Wow.
Discipline,
either it's convenient or not.
Doing what you are supposed to do, when you are supposed to do it, either it is convenient or not.
Some people run their business based on convenience.
You can't be doing anything on convenience. Life is not about convenience. Life is about pressure. And a lot of people mistake freedom as convenience. Freedom is not convenience. Freedom is pressure. Yes. Free. In the Greek, I think being free in Greek or Hebrew means liberty. And the dom is kingdom. So you need if you want to rule a kingdom, the liberty for you to rule a kingdom, you need to invest money on yourself. You need to invest in yourself. You need to develop the capacity. You need to be responsible.
Wow.
And you have to be accountable for yourself before you can be accountable for the next person.
And all of these still anchor on discipline.
It anchors on discipline. So discipline, it's number one. A man that does not have a discipline is going nowhere. But show me a person that is disciplined. You can see a successful person.
That's why the book of life says that seeth a man that is diligent in his work.
He will stand before kings and not women. And mind you, a lot of people do mistakes. When they talk about that thing, kings, the kings there are not foolish. They're not stupid. Kings, people in high places,
absolutely,
in leadership
positions,
in royal places, presidents, ministers, CEOs, they are well read. They are knowledgeable. So they are not going to listen to nonsense. You have to be well knowledgeable. The only thing that will downfold them, that will make them to listen to you, it's your depth of understanding of the practical, we call it mature comprehension of the fundamental principle of creation. And that is when you apply, you see the result. And that is what we call wisdom. So that is what we downfold them, and we say, we know these things. We can see you. We've seen you doing these things. We can see the consistency. The consistency of you doing this thing, it's making us to think twice. We need you to come and assist us.
And that's how they're going to invest in
you. Exactly. And that's how they invest in you. And that's how you become an advisor. And that's how they call you. They say he or she was appointed as an economical advisor to the president, political advisor. It's nothing but that. But that doesn't come on a platter of gold. You have to study. You have to do a lot of research. Because the person you want to, they're not going to come to your light, which is knowledge. They want to come to the understanding of that knowledge. Because I have a car does not mean I have if I don't understand how to operate the Ferrari, it's more or less useless.
That's true.
So my understanding, it's what determines my growth in life and the level of my success.
Wow. So thank you for sharing that. Failure is part of business success. Please tell the listeners some of the failures that you've experienced in your business and the lessons learned.
Yeah, thank you. Some of the failures I've experienced in my business goes back to my personal development. You see, in life, if you want to do anything, because they said, is there any man that wants to build a house that will not first sit down and plan for it and see how much it will cost? Less it start, it cannot finish, and people will laugh at him. And you understand? And I paid that price. I paid dearly for breaking that principle. You understand? Yeah. I've done a lot of business that I did not sit down to take my time, be patient enough to study the sector, the industry. I just went in straight because I was sitting with capital and I paid dearly for it. You understand? One of it was when I lost money in the automobile industry. I mean, 300,000 rand in 2005 is a lot of money. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Investing in without doing the proper research, studying the industry is a good investment. How does the industry operate?
Yes.
What are the rules, regulations, and policies behind it? So those are the things that I've learned, and I call that nothing but being nonchalant. When you are nonchalant about things you're supposed to do, you will pay for it.
Or money specifically in this case.
Yeah, money specifically. And I see a lot of people, they're so nonchalant, carefree attitude, indifference. You'll pay for it. It will catch up with you. It's life, because the life we live in is governed by principles.
That's true.
And a lot of people don't know it. True. Life is governed by principles, and you need to understand the different type of principles. The principle behind prosperity is different from principle behind is different from the principle behind earth.
That's
having
true.
a good earth. So people don't know. So until you understand that, that's when you understand those principles, it helps you to understand better the systems you are operating in. And there are systems in places. There's a system behind, there is economical system, religious systems, and political systems.
Yeah.
I mean, when you understand principles, it helps you to understand the systems. Then it helps. When you have the depth of your understanding will now position you.
Yes.
And those are the lessons I've learned, you understand? And you will keep learning. You don't learn it all.
That's true.
The journey of life continues, because as you grow, different phases of life will come onto you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now tell me, should young people look for customers or funding when starting a business? And a lot of young people, they give up and fail too early.
Yes.
And because they came into wanting to start a business with the mentality that I have this idea and I'm going to go and look for funding. So, in your opinion, I know you touched on it earlier briefly, but in your opinion, a young person listening to the podcast, should he or she go and look for customers or funding?
Okay. When you get into business in the first place, the only purpose of getting into a business, being an entrepreneur, it's one thing. You've identified a problem, which you have identified a gap, which is a problem, which is a challenge, that you've come up with a solution for it.
Okay.
So when you come up with a solution, which is your idea, you don't really need money. Ideas rule the world, not money. Money runs after idea. Money goes where idea is. So if your idea is well refined, it's well sharpened, and it's a brilliant idea, it will become a good, great solution. And it will become, when it becomes a good, great solution, it will add value to the marketplace. And when it adds value to the marketplace,
people are going to pay.
People are going to pay for it. So you don't need money. You need customers. How do you get the customers? It's just the process I've explained. You sharpen your idea, you refine your idea for it to become a solution of great value, real value to the marketplace. And when it becomes a real value to the marketplace, the customers in that segment of the market will pay for that solutions, which is the value. So in a nutshell, new startup, new businesses don't need capital.
Wow.
They need customers.
So for some people that have gone into business and all of that with that kind of mentality, you're saying it's a very wrong way of, Because I mean, I've seen it a lot. It brings a lot of frustrations to a lot of people.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Let's talk about Africa.
Africa is the best. Yes.
Tell us your view on Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement.
It's a very good. Trade agreement.
Yes.
It's very good, and it's going to position Africa.
Yes.
In the global market and the global economy. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
The only challenge we might have is implementation. There are good regulations, good agreements, but the implementation might only be the challenge. Yeah. So if it's well implemented,
yes,
Africa will be well positioned. So we Africans need to find out how best to implement the trade agreement, Africa Trade Agreement, so that it can benefit African 54 countries in Africa without leaving any of those countries out.
Sure.
You understand?
Yes.
There will be conflict here and there. We need people with good capacity, with good skill set, that can be able to manage it and bring good solutions to it, so that we can be able to find solutions to those frictions.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. And okay, so talk about Africa doing business together and having the right people to be able to implement the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. And you being a Nigerian in South Africa, tell us if there are any challenges that is connected to you being a Nigerian businessman in South Africa. Are there challenges? I can see your smile tells a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I do hear that a lot. The honest truth is, challenges will be there, and challenges will continue to be there, regardless of where you come from, who you are. Even as a citizen of South Africa,
yes,
as an indigenous citizen,
yes,
born and bred in South Africa, you will still face challenges. We're talking about the business world, the marketplace.
Yes.
So the only thing one thing that I always tell people, entrepreneurs mostly, is you have to differentiate yourself. That is what's going to position you.
That's critical.
You have to differentiate yourself, that you will not encounter challenges. You will. Even the citizens, the indigenous themselves, they will encounter challenges. So you differentiate yourself. How do you differentiate yourself? You become distinct. You put real value. You create real value
in the marketplace.
In the marketplace, you understand. I've had challenges. That's the honest truth. I've been told to my face many times, you're from Nigeria. Why does it have to be you? Why do you get it? You understand. And some of them will come back and say, you know what? We can say we don't have a choice. We really have to do with you. We don't like you. I hate you. I dislike you. But I still have to do the business with you because
of
the value. I'm the only one that can provide the value that they're looking for. You understand?
Wow. So
that's how, and it's like that anywhere in the world. As an American operating a business in an American economy, we encounter things. A South African operating in the same business in South Africa, we encounter. You understand? So to an extent, you will see it as a foreigner. It's
there.
It's there. You understand? But when you are somebody that is creating real value,
yes,
they will put that aside. They will put that aside. It's there. These are the principles that are there in the book of life that they call the Bible. Yes. They came to him and said, and Isaac sold and reaped 100-fold. And they came to him.
Yes.
And they came to him and he said, no. I've left every other word for you. Why are you coming to me? And they said, no, we're not here to
fight.
To fight now. Now we are coming here for you to teach us how you are doing it. And that's when synergy comes. That's where partnership comes. And everybody is growing. There's always you can always have a win-win. You can always have a win-win. It doesn't have to be you alone. It doesn't have to be them. Everybody can have a win-win. And when there's a real synergy, real partnership, you scale.
Absolutely. So, you shared your thoughts about the Africa Continental Free Trade, but I want to know specifically now from you, what's your thoughts around Africa youth and economic development, considering the impact of coronavirus or the COVID-19 global pandemic, specifically on Africa economy?
Okay. I've been very, I'm very happy that the youth are really coming up and they're creating a lot of solutions to a lot of frictions in the marketplace, which is very good. It's very good because youth will always be the innovator in any sector. It's like it's been like that anywhere in the world for centuries, for thousands of years. It will always continue to be like that.
Yes.
The only thing the youth have to do is to acquire the capacity, the knowledge to be able to manage those ideas and those resources when they come to the table to them. You understand? Yeah. So the youth, the opportunities are there for the youth, and they just have to see how to manage the partnership. And if they know, because we always have about 35 generations in the world, the people before the baby boomer, and the baby boomer, and the generation where I belong, and the millennia, and the generation after the millennia. You understand? So you need the Jay-Z. So you need to know. So I always tell people, when you have an idea and you want to turn your idea to a product or a service, you need to be able to identify who are your customers. And how you identify your customers is it's how you link it to the generation. Which generation are going to be my customers? Then it helps you to know which market segment you're going to put your product and services into. So you understand. And you don't just say, I have an idea, I want to manufacture water, I want to produce water. Who are you going to produce it for? What type of water do you want to produce? How is the bottle going to be, the container? How is it going to be?
Unique
what message
from what is currently available in the market?
Absolutely, you understand. So a lot of people are coming up with youth are coming up with solutions during the coronavirus, which is very good.
Yes.
You understand, and it's going to increase the GDP of whichever country they are operating from. You get what I mean? But they still need the capacity, the proper financial intelligence, the proper management. Because self-development, you understand, and the self-development comes with a sense of responsibility, which is management. If you lack management skills, you can't manage anything. You can't succeed in life.
Scale.
You can't scale. You can't even succeed. You can't even succeed. Top level scaling. Management skills is very important. That's why they always tell everybody. Anybody that comes to me say, I want to start business. I want to start. Even if you want to be a religious leader, you need a management skills.
Okay.
Because you want to scale, you want to manage people, you want to be a leader, you want to manage finance, you want to manage people. So you need the management skills. Manage crisis. You understand what I'm saying? So this is you don't pray for these things. You learn it. These are skills. You don't pray for skills. You learn skills.
Can you please say that again?
You don't pray for skills. You learn skills. You don't pray for knowledge. You study to get knowledge.
Wow, that is very, very impactful, and I believe the young people that are listening to the podcast have learned one or two things. I mean, talk about young people, and off the microphones, it's one thing that you and I touched on. Paystack, being acquired by Stripe.
Yeah.
And you add, your own perception to some of the international companies that are coming to acquire startups in Africa. What is that?
Okay. There's nothing wrong in any company acquiring any other company.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong in any foreign company going to a different economic zone, region, emerging market to acquire any other company. It's a good investment.
Sure.
It's a good growth. It's a good way to broaden the market.
Yes.
But the only thing I'm not in support of that gives me concern is the investment terms and the investment agreement. If Stripe, for example, I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. I don't know if what happened, the investments agreement, but if Stripe will have come to acquire Paystack equity 100%, then it's not a good investment. It's not a good deal. Because Paystack, I don't think Paystack is up to a decade old startup. You understand? Look at Facebook. Look at Amazon. Look at Microsoft.
Oh, are you saying they didn't sell at the earliest?
You don't sell at the earliest stage. You grow. You grow. You have to grow the business.
Okay.
You have to grow the business. You have to pay the price. Paystack is already making good revenue. Why do they need $200 million? What is the turnover of Paystack? It must have started from the foundation. If you seek for funding
Yes.
early, it will catch up with you in the future, because the funding is not free. These
True,
are capital
true.
from investors.
Sure.
Investors
And they are expecting ROI.
they want a return on investment. Some investors are there. I operate in the private equity firm, investment holding industry. Some investors want to make money quick. They want quick early exit.
Yeah.
You understand? And you can't stop them. That's their business model. So you understand, if I'm an investor, I've invested $10 million into you, and I've given you 3 years for me to cash out my $10 million for $50 million. You can't stop me. So the best I would do is for me to value you and sell you at a high value.
Yes.
So you understand. So I always advise startup, weather the storm, grow the business, create the market, build the customer base, then the resources will flow to you. Then you will be well positioned to negotiate better.
Wow.
A very good example is a CGW or CWG in Nigeria.
Okay.
You understand? A company that was funded by Austin Okeke. You understand? If anybody go read a story, they did not seek for investment capital early. And they were able to sustain themselves. And by the time they went to get to seek for capital and this thing, they were well positioned to negotiate better. And the company is still there today.
Time will tell if.
I don't know the details of this. I was just using it because it's in the news.
Absolutely,
you understand?
Absolutely. And hence I bring it up also to connect it to youth doing great things in Africa and contributing to the economic development in Africa. If you are starting a business today, which industry would you venture into?
The only industry I will venture into is technology.
Why?
Technology does one thing. It enhances meaning it brings solutions to frictions. And technology speaks to every sector of the economy.
Absolutely true.
You understand? And
so it validates Natia's sentiment that all business will become technology business.
Absolutely. All business will become technology business. Absolutely. That is it. So it doesn't matter whether it's a fintech, agri-tech, edtech, medtech, whatever tech it is all tech. Everything is
whatever
tech.
Tech
it is all tech. It is all tech. You understand? So technology. So you just have to narrow it down to which part of technology in the technological industry. You understand? Like now, I've been trying to. I'm in the process of doing my doctorate in global business leadership. You understand? It only dawned on me like I've been struggling because I'm a leadership consultant, certified leadership consultant, and life and business coach. So leadership is what I breathe and so I wanted to do my doctorate in business leadership and focusing on human behavior and organizational development. And I've been struggling with that. Every time I want to do it, something keeps drawing me back. No, there's more you can do than this. There's more you can do than this. There's more you can do than this. So I only got the clarity now that your doctorate in business leadership will be focused on nothing but digital transformation and innovation. So now I'm setting up my own team for my doctorate. Our research is going to be on digital transformation and innovation. And it's what my doctorate is going to focus on, my PhD, in the next 3-4 years.
Wow. Congratulations in that.
Thank you.
In the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like you said, I'll be addressing you as Dr. Wale Osborne.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This has been a very insightful conversation. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, please do so. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Same Apata, so that you can hear more when Wale shared his my entrepreneurship journey. What are your parting shots?
Yeah. My parting shot would be, in anything you do it well. How do you do it well? Invest in yourself, develop yourself. You can never go wrong. Like one of my mentors will always say, Dr. Miles Moreau, said, where we all cannot do it, but if you put your time to it and you focus, you invest in it, you will make it. I said, we are not created for jobs. We are created to work. See, jobs will give you employment, and a work will make you to deploy. When you do a 9-to-5 job,
Yes.
you are employed.
Absolutely.
But when you are working on your purpose,
Yes.
your vision, your ideas,
Yes.
you deploy those ideas, and you will deploy resources, human resources, capital resources. Talk of it. So I will always tell people, develop yourself. Even if you are doing a job now,
Yes.
keep developing yourself. Don't develop yourself. Invest in yourself. Don't invest in your job. Nothing stops you from doing your deliverables.
Yes.
But invest in yourself. Personal development,
Yeah.
self-mastery is very important. We call it personal leadership development.
Wow.
Read books, research, study, listen to successful stories. Listen to stories. People with consistent success. We call it consistent result.
Yes.
That is what we call true success. Consistent result. Consistency, it's what we call success.
Okay.
And that comes from self-discipline. Discipline yourself, study, invest in yourself, develop yourself, and be consistent with it. You will never go wrong. It's just a process of time. It's a good process.
Oh, wow.
I'll see you at the top.
I've learned a lot from the conversation and some of the insights that you've shared. Should people want to connect with you, how would they be able to do so?
But if people want to connect with me, I'm on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
My name is Wale Osborne on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook.
Yes.
And I only post things that we can use to encourage and guide each other and develop each other. Mostly things we can use to develop each other. On my Instagram, 1 or 2 pictures, because it shows where I've been around the world and listening, because I do travel a lot for business, and that has helped me a lot to understand, because I enjoy learning about different cultures. So wherever I travel to, I tend to learn about their culture. You understand? Like I was in Israel in 2019 in December for 2 weeks during the time of election of the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. I was there that very day. I was in the campaign, because the hotel I was staying was very next to to where he did his campaign, and his office. So I learned a lot about the nation of Israel. I've been to Asia. I've been to Bangladesh. I've got associate in IT industry in Bangladesh. Been to Indonesia.
You mentioned that some of your businesses are in UAE also.
Yeah, so I've been to UAE. So I enjoy learning about different cultures. So learning about cultures, it helps a lot. It helps you to be diverse in nature and know how to relate with people. Yeah, you understand, and how to converse. Because there's one thing that is very important that I forgot to mention.
Yes.
It's called having regard and courtesy for the fellow human being. A lot of people, they lack that. They lack regard, they lack courtesy. And people, there's no amount, if I disrespect you, if I disregard you, it doesn't matter the degree and the level of business I'm bringing to you, you won't be interested. So a lot of people don't know it. And I would like to encourage the youth of today, regard and courtesy. It's very important. And what is regard and courtesy? It costs you nothing. Hello, how are you? I'm sorry about that. Oh, my apology. Please do forgive me. Oh, very simple. Having honor. You just honor people. Be friendly with people. It's very simple. It doesn't stop you from being principled. It doesn't stop you from being straight.
Yes.
But just have courtesy, regard, and honor people. That's all.
That's why the Bible says that owe no one anything but love.
But love, absolutely. That's the meaning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I've learned one now. Owe no one anything but love.
I think that is Romans 13:8 or something like that.
So you see, so it's as simple as that.
Thank you very much, Wale, for coming onto the same Apata podcast. It has been value adding, and I know definitely that the listeners also have learned a lot. Thank you very much, and I wish you success in all of your current and future endeavor. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for listening, and I will catch you in the next episode. God bless you. Love you. Bye.
Thank you.